when we're doing this?
If I click it, yeah, I can.
Okay. Hello, everybody. We're on the air. Welcome, wrestling fans,
Behind the
to We
scenes.
Can't Wrestle Live. Yes, a little unprofessionalism here. It is the OGs tonight, Nate and Kyle, with you for one beautiful hour on a Monday, and I promise you, this shit's more entertaining than Monday Night Raw.
You
On the
know,
We Can't Wrestle podcast,
it's
We
kind of
Can't
feels
Wrestle. Oh, go ahead, Kyle.
remember back in the 90s when like WWF would get postponed to like Thursday Raw Thursday,
Yeah.
Tuesday Night
This is,
Raw.
but our name would be so long. It'd be Monday. We Can't Wrestle Live Monday.
So was theirs. I mean,
Yeah, Thursday Raw Thursday. I always wondered about that one because, like, why was the extra Thursday thrown in at the beginning? Like, it was a little redundant, you know. Either Thursday Raw or Raw Thursday. You didn't need Thursday Raw Thursday.
what, God, do you remember when they did the Raw Bowl?
Oh boy,
Yeah, where everybody dressed up.
that was a tough one. Jim Ross was Jumbo Ross or whatever as the reporter. Yeah. The old days. It's still better than what we get today most weeks.
True.
I mean, you know, Sid and the Kid, man. What a mishmash tag team that was. Sid and the Kid.
But see, that's the thing, though. You go back and watch that, and it's still fun to watch because I don't know. Is nostalgia a hell of a drug?
Yes. And don't we love to watch the stuff from our youth? Like, I love to watch 80s and 90s WWF and WCW and the NWA.
It's like that. It's like I go back and watch WrestleMania 4. I know what's going to happen. I know Macho Man's going to beat Ted DiBiase.
It's because good shit's good shit.
Yeah,
I watched how many times have I watched all the Star Wars movies all the way through? You know, I mean, good shit's good shit. So we are live in the We Can't Wrestle Facebook group, the We Can't Wrestle Facebook page, and our We Can't Wrestle YouTube page. If you're on the Facebook page and you have not yet joined our group, like Aaron said on our podcast this week, what the fuck are you waiting for? Join the group. Yeah. We have some fun, lots of fun in the group, lots of great guys, your admins. Kyle, myself, Aaron, and Archie Mitchell and Chris Wood are all here to discuss wrestling with you and hang out. Just hang out and have some fun.
Yeah, it's good times. Like I said, we need to give a shout out to what is the customs?
World Championship Customs.
Yeah, speaking of a long name.
World Championship Customs, the WCC, Archie's new group on Facebook, and also a shout out to the Asylum, of which I am an admin. If you haven't joined the Asylum yet, join the. What are you waiting for? Especially if you're a collector or just a wrestling fan.
You see all the wonderful things behind Nate right now. It's just I mean, if that's the stuff you're looking for, the Asylum and World Championship Customs, it's a place to go.
That's right. Absolutely right. You can't beat it. I want to show you guys something here that I've actually got right in front of me. Speaking of World Championship Customs, Archie Mitchell, he made me a Hasbro Harley race. I don't know. Let me move the light here so you guys can see it.
I mean, look at that.
Hasbro Harley race.
Look at that. I mean, look, not only are you getting something made from one of the admin here, but also it's going to be quality. And I said it on the podcast, I'll say it again here and now. You know where it's coming from. If you buy it off eBay, you might have people playing toys with, you don't know what they're doing with it. They might be putting their butt.
Get a Harley race with a little bent, fucked up hand or something.
Yeah. So, but let's the Asylum. Check out the Asylum podcast as well.
Yes, sir. The Asylum Wrestling Podcast with David Gold, John Majewski, Nick Francis, and I pop in from time to time because everybody knows I can't keep my big mouth shut. But he's never. All right, so let's talk about the week that was in professional wrestling.
Oh boy!
As the weeks of empty arena shows continue.
You know what else had empty arena shows before even the whole everything happened? It's the XFL, apparently, because they are done and gone.
Yeah, they were like, fuck this shit. We're out again. What? Vince just can't luck out with that thing.
like I said, the other day when we did the podcast, it came out that they weren't going to have a next season. And then today they're bankrupt. They just claimed bankruptcy. So it's dead and gone.
But to put the nail in the coffin on the old XFL one more time, I love it how they were like, we're suspending operations and we're only paying everybody through Sunday.
But and it's funny. I had an ex that was who was a big football fan, and we were still together when the XFL first started, and I was like, hey, like, look, football's on. She's like, yeah, it's not the NFL though. I don't know who any of these people are, those teams are. Yeah, she's like, nah. I don't want to. I don't think anybody
will ever forget He Hate Me. Remember He Hate Me? That guy from the original XFL. I don't remember what his actual name was. I just remember He Hate Me. All right, so I guess we'll start the week where we normally start the week, and I know tonight's Raw is on right now. I have not looked at any reports or anything from it yet, so I'm unaware of what's going on Raw tonight. But we have, let's see.
It's an empty arena show. You're not.
Every week it seems like they're making little changes. That it's funny because one you can tell who's working, who's working in each segment, because in one segment I like the way, example, the way Drew McIntyre presents himself as he talks to the camera. He talks to the audience at home. He doesn't play off to his side or anything like that. Or like I noticed this week, who was it? I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit to SmackDown, but I want to see who I'm talking about here. Bailey and Sasha this week. They wanted to address somebody. They didn't address a fake crowd, but they addressed Michael Cole at ringside. So I mean,
and they've kind of been doing that, here recently. But again, I don't want to get too far ahead, but I can't help but say, like, to me, AEW's just done it right.
Mm-hmm.
It's a small building where there is no audience whatsoever.
Right.
Where everything is just dark around the ring and the entrance, and you take your mind off of it.
Yeah. And they just having the 10 guys or 10 or 15 guys around the ring that they have, making just a little bit of noise. Because it's not terribly awkward during a promo.
No.
It's terribly awkward during the match.
Oh, God, it's horrible. It's to the point where it's almost unbearable to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, WrestleMania was a chore.
Mm-hmm. There were some matches in WrestleMania that were good enough that made me leave it a little bit, made me forget it a little bit. But they're essentially giving me a match they would give me on a Raw with a crowd,
mm-hmm.
on a Raw with a crowd, and it's terribly awkward. And some of those moments during face-to-face promos are awkward too, because it's like some of these guys are so trained that they take those pauses for a crowd reaction.
Yep. I was about to say the same thing. It's not like a normal conversation between two people.
Mm-hmm. It happened during the most glaring thing of it this week. Dave DeRozier says, "Don't worry, he's here." Whew. Dave, we were scared, man.
Thank God you're here, Dave.
The most awkward moment this week of that respect was Shinsuke Nakamura and Braun Strowman took some awkward pauses during their face-to-face during SmackDown.
Yeah. And look, I'm not shitting on WWE here. AEW did it too. I mean, what was it last week when they had the confrontation between Jericho and Matt Hardy?
Mm-hmm.
Like it was borderline cheesy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only way I can put it. It was borderline cheesy. I don't know.
So Raw last week. It's not going to take a lot to go through this show because it was tough to watch. And of course, as everybody knows, I watch the 90-minute Hulu edition. I don't put myself through I didn't put myself through 3 hours of Raw with a crowd.
Listen, here recently, I've been watching the YouTube versions. I'm sorry.
You're like Dragnet, just the facts, ma'am, just the facts.
I don't. God, it's hard for me to sit through and watch because it just gets to the point where it's just like we all said Raw couldn't get any worse. Why were we wrong?
So we had the Asuka Liv match. We had. I actually enjoyed the. Sorry, I enjoyed the Becky Lynch and Shayna. I like now if we're going to do promos. I enjoy the. I don't. They're not Pulp Fiction, but the ECW Pulp Fiction style promos where they have just to cut the promo in the back with a camera. I enjoy that. I mean, like I said, the in the ring, like one person comes down, then somebody's music hits, and the other person comes down. Those are so terribly awkward in this environment.
They've done it, and that's the thing about it. We've seen them do it both ways, where it's there's Michael Cole in the ring doing a one-on-one interview with somebody, and that works perfect for this situation.
Mm-hmm.
Why is Vince McMahon dead set on pretending like, oh, go out there and perform like there's a crowd still out there, pal?
Exactly.
There's not. We can see it. There's no crowd.
It's because whether they're in the arena or at home, it's still the WWE universe, pal.
Oh, blow me on that. That's ridiculous.
But like I said, I enjoyed these promos because these are the promos I'm liking the best right now. Is they're almost getting to be themselves in these promos. I enjoyed the Becky and one. I really enjoyed the Shayna Baszler promo. The intensity. I still sometimes am freaked out by the fact that she has no eyebrows, but that freaks me out sometimes. So,
well, when you don't know what you're doing with the gas grill and you light it, it happens. I mean,
dang it, Shayna.
Yeah, and you can't turn the gas on and leave the hood down. You got to open it up.
Do you know one of my favorite one of my favorite Hank Hill moments is? I'm getting off topic here.
What's that?
But he tries to spray something with his WD-40 and it won't spray. So out of his pocket, he takes a smaller can of WD-40 and sprays his WD-40 can with that. It's so great.
Oh, God, that show's so good.
It's one of the funniest shows ever made. I love it. I could watch it over and over again.
Oh, one of my favorite moments is when Dale has to give up being an exterminator. And Hank drives him to work, and he's like, I wasn't going to play hooky on my first day. He's like, that's not what you told Bobby. He's like, your son's a liar and a tattletale.
Your son's a liar and a tattletale.
Oh, man.
Dale's dead bug. All right, so we had the Street Profits in the rematch against Garza and Theory. I still hate the Street Profits; they annoy the shit out of me. And apparently, I didn't know that Montez Ford and Bianca Belair really married.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, I had no idea. If Chris was here, he would know. Chris knows all that kind of stuff. Chris is like knowledgeable about that behind the scenes shit.
Great, we're
as far as that goes.
But people on Total Bellas or Total Diva, wherever the hell that show is now.
Bella Divas, yeah.
Something like that.
The Street Profits, like I said, I think that Montez Ford is a really talented athlete, but these guys their gimmick just grates me like a fucking cheese grater. I can't take it.
They're almost
it's like every Raw right now is like 40 minutes of these guys.
It's like Crime Time, but at least Crime Time was fun. At least they were.
Street Profits are like they're the PG Crime Time. You're right. That's what they are. They're the PG Crime Time.
Like I said, at least Crime Time was fun because they knew what it was. Like it was, it was. Yeah. But anyways.
we got a promo. We got a promo from Kevin Owens. We got Seth Rollins in action. I do like the fact that they're doing some jobber matches.
Yeah,
nowadays.
It is nice. Don't get me wrong. I mean, look, I don't know. In my personal opinion, I'd love to see, especially now, if you're gonna do it, why not start doing some jobber matches? Like make the whole show.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
You know?
Kyle.
Yeah.
Dave just threw up a comment. He's got a question for you.
Yeah.
He wants to know, what are those things on your shoulders and arms? Sleeves? What the fuck?
I didn't flex today. I can't flex. I'm being in quarantine. I'm losing my flex. I'm losing my muscles, man.
Breaking kayfabe here.
God.
We're breaking kayfabe. Nia Jax is back.
Okay.
So that's there. And then we had what I thought was really weird. I don't quite understand, and maybe I don't know. I don't quite understand why the thing with Drew McIntyre and the Big Show had to have. Why did they say last night after WrestleMania? Like, okay, so last night after WrestleMania, we had an interviewer go out in the ring and asked Drew McIntyre to come out to the ring where nobody was there, and since there's 4 people on the set, nobody noticed the fucking giant was here, and he came out and challenged Drew McIntyre, and it just didn't make any sense. Why not say it happened at Raw? I mean, this definitely wasn't your normal Raw after WrestleMania, that's for sure.
Okay, so first off, we're here to sit there and say, again, that there's a lot wrong with this.
There is.
But so you're telling me that Big Show main event WrestleMania?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm getting at. Why did we do this? Why did we have this take place? And it probably didn't even. They probably taped it another night. You know what I mean? It's not like it wasn't literally at WrestleMania. There was absolutely, to me, no point in doing this stupid thing.
And then like I said, it's like, oh, after the cameras were off and we were done being live. Well, you weren't live. Like, what the hell? Like, you weren't live. So why did that happen? Like, you're playing it off. Like, you have sat there and said that, hey, everything has been recorded ahead of time, and Vince McMahon was big on like no spoilers, we'll fire you. And then you're going to sit here and play this game of like, well, after the show went off the air, Big Show came back. No, he didn't. How stupid do you think we are?
And like I said, nobody saw him walking around in his tights in the back all day. I mean, the biggest fucking guy on the planet.
Don't ever see his heel turn coming, so
I can Oof. But we got to tally that up sometime for the show. I got to tally up who had more heel face turns, Luger or the Big Show, because they both flipped like pancakes. I mean,
yeah, I would say between the two of them, we may not make it to the rest of our lives before we get done tallying that up. Because Jesus.
So now we'll move on from Raw to NXT.
I swear to God that there has been an episode of Raw or SmackDown where Big Show started as a face, did a heel turn, turned face again, and then did a heel turn at the end. I'm pretty sure that happened.
It was either Raw or Nitro, because they used to do that shit a lot on Nitro too. You start out joining the NWO, and then by the end of the show, the NWO spray painting your butt or whatever. So NXT. We open up with the ladder match. Io Shirai, Tegan Nox, Chelsea Green, Dakota Kai, and Candice LeRae. And I watched this match, and the entire time, all I could think was, these girls are taking all these risks
for nothing
in front of absolutely nobody.
What? And you can say what you want to say about, it's like John Morrison and
Uso.
Yeah, Uso and
Kofi,
thank you. You can say what you want to say about the fact is that, well, they did the same thing on WrestleMania. Well, they're also, towards the twilight of their careers. And
I'm critical of that too, because I think, and I'm wondering, because they're going to have this week, apparently they're going to have another 3-way match for the tag team titles. And I don't know if they're doing that because of social distancing or why they're having singles matches for the tag titles. But if because of social distancing you can't have tag team matches right now, you shouldn't have tag team title matches.
Why is it that we are having Money in the Bank coming up when we're not even sure Hell, I just read a report that's saying that live events ain't going to could not happen until next year.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you having a ladder match type pay-per-view? I mean,
it's getting ludicrous.
Honestly,
we
talked about this. We talked about this before we went on the air. They just need to take some time off.
Mm-hmm.
Just let everybody, rest and recruit. You have so much material on the WWE network. Why not sit there and say, hey, guys, we're going to give you a taste of what the WWE network has to offer. In place of, well, we're going to show you, hey, it's the Triple H documentary, and then we're going to show you, Steve Austin's interview with Triple H. And then next week, hey, it's going to be, Stone Cold Steve Austin's best matches and best moments.
Or even better yet, and that's great. You could do that. Let's say you do that with Raw, okay? You do that with Raw, it's on the USA network. It's not network television. You have SmackDown, which is network television, Fox. You've got 2 hours every Friday night. Why can't you take an hour, 1 hour, and then the other hour? And how about we try something new? Well, not new to us, but new to new wrestling. And how about you use that time in the interim to build interest and show the stories of your characters? Like, as an example, okay, you've got all this footage that they own, obviously, because he's only ever really wrestled there as Seth Rollins. I mean, he was Tyler Black, but you could do a whole hour. Mm-hmm. This is Seth Rollins. Introduce people to your characters, and get some current interviews with them. Do some profiles. Build. That's what people like dog out shows like TNT that WWF used to do, but you watch the TNT show, and I'll just use an example. There's an entire episode of TNT. It's Nikolai Volkov. This is your life.
Yep.
And they used that whole hour to introduce us to give us more depth into. You can call the characters cartoony or what have you, but at least they did something to let you know what this character was, what this guy stood for, what his background was, the
pre-show to WrestleMania. It was Corey Graves and I can't think of the other guy's name.
Sam Roberts?
No, it wasn't Sam Roberts. No. I could actually watch it. But they did a great job. It's the one guy that does one of the podcasts, I think.
God, I can't.
But it doesn't matter.
One of Michael Cole's kids. I mean, they're all Michael Cole's kids.
So here's the fact: it's like you could do it with just two of them. You could even do it with Michael Cole and JBL. It doesn't matter. The fact is, you could do that on a closed set.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason why they can't do it. It's for whatever reason. Vince McMahon is bound and determined because the news reports came out that he is determined to continue on.
Or even say you don't want to show stuff that is available on the network. All right, they say we don't want to show stuff that's on the network. They take, and I know this because of how many house shows I've gone to in my life. WWE, since the 1980s, has a camera at every single show, whether it's a house show or what have you. They film everything. So imagine all the stuff they have that no one other than in those arenas has seen. That they could show us. They could show us, yeah, hey, check out this amazing, because a house show I went to in Fort Wayne, Indiana last year. There was an awesome Randy Orton AJ Styles match that could be on TV anytime. Yep. Show me that match, And
that's the thing. Like I said, there's so much out there that it's to the point where it's, and just be like, look, we're not going to do pay-per-views for right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got WrestleMania done. Fine, cool. Is Money in the Bank going to be on pay-per-view? I don't even think so. I think it's just going to be on the network. So you own the network, so why do it? Just to say you can do it?
Pretty much.
I mean, I don't get it.
This is the time in his history, and we've all known for our whole lives that Vince McMahon has a gigantic ego, but to me, this time in history is proving, this is the biggest proof of the size of that man's ego. You just can't let it just rest for a little bit. I mean, take it easy.
We're also coming to find out, and I don't mean to get political or anything else on this, but we're also finding out from a lot of businesses that they really don't care a lot about their employees.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're in the midst of a global pandemic, and
I just read yesterday that WWE gave their employees notes to keep in their car that they are essential entertainment employees if they would happen to get pulled over by the police.
Business essential.
Essential, exactly.
When the NBA and the NFL aren't doing it, how are they essential? I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't either. So NXT, let's see, that new tag team debuted. Adam Cole cut a good promo on Velveteen Dream. Now, did you watch Ciampa and Gargano?
Yes.
Okay. So I am seeing lots of things on the internet about what a great match this was, and here's my thing, and I want your take on it. I love these guys. Ciampa and Gargano, I love them. They've had an awesome feud. They're two fantastic performers. But I can't say that they had a really good match because, they made a good movie.
Yep.
Okay, for me to say two guys went out and had a really good match means that they went out in front of people live and wrestled, and no one ever said cut. No one ever said let's redo that. Yep. That's the beauty of professional wrestling, and that's why this environment is not professional wrestling, because you and I both know that match was not shot in one shot.
No.
The way that the camera angles and it's just, so I can't say they had a good match. They made a good movie. Like AJ and Undertaker, they made a good movie.
Yes. And look, I'm going to be honest with you. To me, it really felt like, oh, let's just do what we did with Edge and Orton.
Mm-hmm.
And look, I know that I was a fan of the Undertaker AJ Styles thing, and I thought it was cool. Okay, I thought it was cool. Yeah.
I did, but you can't call it a match. It's not a match because it's a match is two guys going out having a live match in a ring in front of people with no cuts, no. And I'm going off again. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It was what was needed for WrestleMania. That and the Firefly Funhouse thing. That's what made WrestleMania bearable. That's what made it stand out. And it was great for what it was. I can enjoy the Undertaker AJ thing for what it was. Enjoy the, for the love of God, people. Wrestling is fixed. We know it's fixed. We know it's a work.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. But like I said, as long as they don't keep continuously doing this,
mm-hmm.
I can accept it once or twice. That's fine.
Yeah.
Now, if this turns into an everyday thing, and it's like, no, I don't.
Well, and this is what Vince has always fancied himself. I mean, everybody that watched Beyond the Mat saw Vince McMahon look in that camera and go, "We make movies, pal."
You know what? They do make movies, but they made movies in a live setting in front of people. That's what made pro wrestling so special.
And now it is not that.
No, exactly. It's what made it. That's what, because there was, how many times have you seen it? Like, there is no cut, there is no do-over. It is it's live. It's
uncooked, uncut, uncensored.
Exactly. Now it's like, well, it is what it is. It's like, oh well, we can fix anything in post. It's like,
then that's not a wrestling match.
No.
So, like I said, like I wrote down here. Love these guys. It was fun for what it was, but I can't say it was a great match because it was a movie. It wasn't a match.
Happen now, though?
No.
I mean, my God, why not put it off? That's what I don't get. Is there's nothing. Name me one thing. And any of you guys watching right now, please, by all means, if I'm wrong, say I'm wrong and give me an example. But name me one feud, one thing that is going on right now that we have to see.
Right, that can't wait.
Exactly. Yeah. There's not a single thing.
I think that, like I said before WrestleMania, I think it was wise to get Mania out of the way. Just go ahead and do it, because there was And that's the thing that's what I was going to say. You can't, example, Roman Goldberg or something like, just get it out of the way. You've been building it. You just get it out of the way. But then, like we talked about, they should have just been done right there. WrestleMania is over.
The moment that Goldberg or the moment Roman Reigns was like, I'm out, which I don't blame him.
Mm-hmm.
If I had fucking leukemia, I would be like, yeah, I ain't gonna be anywhere near that.
Not today, bitch.
No, right. But at that point, once everything started going to the way it was going and going to shit, that's when they should have said, look, it's going to be a cluster. Let's just put it off. Because no more is it, well, let's just get it done and over with. It's, you're not even doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I said, we didn't even get half the matches that we thought we were going to get.
And then they were just like, they didn't even do an angle to get Strowman into that match.
No, they're just
it was like the week before they were hyping Roman and Goldberg, and then the next week, Braun Strowman's going to get a shot at the championship at WrestleMania. It's just, okay, like I don't know. Okay, so we've talked about it a couple of times so far as we get to this point, but AEW, there are, let me see, things I liked, things I hate. Every week there's less that I hate, which is good. Like you said earlier, if we're gonna have to put up with the empty arena crap, they are doing it better than WWE is doing it, because they're almost giving us a Roadhouse kind of thing or something like that, with the outside the audience kind of thing, you know, the outside the ring, just the 10, 15 guys, not fans, fellow wrestlers watching the other wrestlers wrestle. It's, again, that's the best thing I can liken it to. When I was watching it this week, that finally clicked in my head. I was like, it's like Roadhouse. It's like a bar fight or something. You know, it's cool. It's like an 80s movie, and they have done a good job with that. Much better job. Yeah, much better job at creating an ambiance. You know, if we have to do this, then this is the way to do it. Jake the Snake cut a good promo to start the show. Noted piss drinker, Jake the Snake Roberts. The reason I like this promo better than the last one, which I liked the last one, but in this one he did a good job of putting Archer over. But I heard he's not at the tapings because he's quarantined himself. Did you hear that?
No.
Yeah, apparently he's quarantined himself. He's quarantined.
That's fine. Hey, you know what? I'm a big proponent of he doesn't need to be there every week.
Mm-hmm.
Let the manager go out and talk about him.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like what Bobby Heenan would do with Andre the Giant.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to see Andre the Giant every week.
Yeah.
Bobby there, and he's going to talk about it, but
not going to see him every week. What is your take on them having a TNT championship? Like what? Now let me do this. And sometimes I do this. I did this with a couple of weeks ago when we talked about the teleporting. I said if WWE did teleporting, wrestling fans would be like, that no good, lousy WWE.
Yep.
All right, so if WWE a couple of years ago would have said, we have created the USA Network Championship, what would have happened? Wrestling fans would have been like, well, that's stupid. That's stupid.
Let's call it what it is. It's a TV title.
Yeah.
Why not call it a TV title?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you have to break the mold?
Yeah, why does it have to be named after the network that you're... I don't know. I think it's a novel concept to have another title. It's not a novel concept to name it after the network you're on. I don't know.
Well, and here's the thing. I'm all for them having a couple more titles because it gives, prestige and something for people to do. But again,
your fellow co-star of the We Can't Wrestle podcast, Archie Mitchell, is in the house, Kyle. He says, no, take off the sleeves.
Only for you, Archie.
Oh, look at
There you go,
that!
buddy.
Oh, look
There
at
you
the
go, buddy.
guns. We got the
There you go,
guns,
buddy.
Archie. Kyle was talking about how he hasn't been able to work out because he's in quarantine, Kyle. So he doesn't want to get the guns out right now. You know,
it's all flab.
they're not loaded right now, man.
No, hell no.
Nope. We were talking about that
These
TNT.
pythons are sick.
He said, "Thanks, buddy, thanks for the show. Appreciate
You're
that."
You're welcome, buddy. Like I said, I'll get with you later about payment. So.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, I think the idea of the title is a good idea. Naming it after the network, I think, is silliness. I don't know.
Like I said, you know, it's like the 24/7 title. It's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Universal Championship. It's stupid.
The only good thing about that 24/7 title was when it was a reason to have R-Truth on TV, because I'm an R-Truth mark. I think he's great. Man, his segment with Brock Lesnar was one of the best segments of 2020 so far. But
that's what it was.
But yeah, I agree with you. That title's stupid, and it's ugly, by the way. It's probably one of the ugliest championship belts. It's uglier than that Western States Heritage Championship or whatever. Archie says their show's name is Dynamite, so the TNT title isn't that bad from that aspect. But Archie, I'm going to debate you on that. So are you saying that if Raw would have a sushi championship, that would be okay in that aspect, because sushi and Raw go together?
I don't know. Something fishy about that.
Hey-o!
Let's
All
not
right, anyway.
here anymore.
Oh, God. We are swimming in dad jokes. Oh, my goodness. What did the drummer name his twin daughters? Anna 1, Anna 2. All right. So Britt Baker had a match. She got, I think, I assume she got potatoed or something, because she wound up with a bloody nose. What was that girl's name? Sheeta, that she wrestled? Sheeta?
Yeah.
Archie said, you got me there, I got nothing. I'll just show myself the door. Thanks, Nate Maxon. No, Archie, stay.
Yeah. Come back.
But the Britt Baker match was pretty decent. I don't know anything about Sheeta, and I'm not a big fan of most of the AEW women's stuff so far. I have liked Britt Baker. I sometimes I like Riho. Sometimes I like her, sometimes I don't. But most of their women's stuff, honestly, I fast forward through a lot of it. And they also did me a favor by jamming all the garbage into one thing this week. They had Omega and Orange Cassidy and the fucking Best Friends and all the hot garbage. They did me a favor and bagged it all up for me and left it on the doorstep so I could fast forward through it and not feel like I missed anything.
You know what? I'm gonna say this here and now. I can deal with the Best Friends. I can deal with Kenny Omega. I cannot stand Orange Cassidy. I don't see the appeal. Mm-hmm. I don't see the you put your hands in your pockets and you jump out of the ring. Like what? Like really? Like that's supposed to be?
It's stupid. It's and anybody that sells it and anything he does loses respect to me, because they are also shitting on the business.
And the reason why I say with Kenny Omega is, yes, he wrestled a blow up doll, and yes, he wrestled a little girl, but he hasn't done that shit in a long time.
You're right.
Orange Cassidy is continuously going out there with his fucking hands in his pockets. He acts like he could not give a shit. That's why I can stand them, but
Archie says Orange Cassidy is freshly squeezed.
I bet he is. I bet he is.
But one of my biggest, and I think you were. I think you were on the show when I brought it up. I know Chris and I discussed it. One of the things that made me shake my head the most. I love whatever you call him, Neville, Pac, whatever you call him. That guy is one of the best, most badass heels in the business. However, can I take him seriously anymore? Because 6 weeks ago or whatever it was, Orange Cassidy did his little love taps on him with his feet. And the character that Pac plays should have, the first time that guy gave him this little love tap in the shin, should have punched him in the fucking mouth.
Yep.
Ken Shamrock's character would have punched him in the fucking mouth.
Yep.
Stone Cold Steve Austin would have given him a stunner after the first love tap. And now Pac just stands there and takes it, and it's just part of the match. And it takes credibility. My biggest problem with Orange Cassidy is his character takes fucking credibility away from any character that he's in the ring with that is competitive with him.
It's the same
thing. They look like a fool. Yeah, they look like the fucking fool.
Exactly. Same thing with Joey Ryan. I'm sorry. The minute he walk out with a fucking lollipop, I'm expecting you to be like Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's like, I'm going to take that lollipop and shove it up your ass. Go ahead and try to grab me by the dick, motherfucker, and see what's going to happen.
Yes, Archie, you are correct. Shamrock grabbed Joey Ryan's dick in Impact 2 months ago. You're right. You got me on the Shamrock. I guess Shamrock's former character, which was believable and not shitting on his own business, would have punched Orange Cassidy in the face. Yes, I forgot about that, actually. Thank you for bringing that up, Archie. Shamrock, credibility, gone.
Unfortunately, Shamrock's at that point now where he's trying to do what he can do.
Yeah. Very well put together videos concerning Jon Moxley and Jake Hager. Yep. I thought these were very well done, telling a good story. I was never a huge fan of Hager, Jack Swagger in the WWE. I liked his thing with Mantell more because of Dutch Mantell. Yep. But he's probably a decade. No, wait, he came in WWE in 2009. So he's about 11 years into his major wrestling career, and he's finally coming into his own. he's finally starting to stand out.
And I think that, like I said, when he joined and did the whole We the People thing and everything else, is like, oh, he's got some teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And then, unfortunately, they had to neuter it, and now he's at the point where he can kind of, I think he's confident in himself.
Mm-hmm.
And he can back it up.
And maybe getting outside of the WWE territory was what he needed. Getting out of that system was what he needed. Sometimes that system, Cody has talked about it before, that system can be very stifling.
Look at Drew.
Yeah. Yeah, he had to get out and get back in to get to where he's at now.
Right. I like Jon Moxley. I like the fact that we're seeing a new side of Jon Moxley.
Mm-hmm.
Where, he does some of the blood and guts stuff, but that's not all he does.
Mm-hmm.
That he can have a good match, that he can wrestle, that he has psychology.
Definitely. He's one of the high spots, or the highlights is what I meant. One of the high spots are the Bucks. He's one of the highlights of AEW. So I'm going to be honest with you. If you have anything to say about it, you can. But as you probably imagine, best friends Omega and Nakazawa, Nick, fast forward all the way through that garbage. Ain't got time for that in my fucking life. There is too much going on for me to waste my time watching that shit.
That's fine. We can move on. Like I said, I'm. You know what? I can stand them. I cannot stand Orange Cassidy. I cannot stand Joey Ryan. I'm glad that I don't know.
We're on the same page there, brother.
So.
Same page. All right. So Brody Lee is a miss for me in AEW right now.
Really?
Yes.
You're
gonna say why, Nate? Why? Because look at that. Dave DeRozier said jazz hands. Brody Lee is a miss for me because Brody Lee is totally miscast. And I complain about this in WWE all the time, so I'm going to complain about it at AEW. People get miscast. They're in the wrong role. Bayley shouldn't be a baby, or Bayley shouldn't be a heel. What's her face? The one that says nasty. You nasty people. God, why am I blanking on her name?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Miss Strong Independent Woman.
Yes. She shouldn't be a baby face. She should be a heel. She's miscast. So here's my thing. All right. Brody Lee. Oh. Aaron Maxon is commenting right now.
Oh,
and he's got a quick question.
Uh-huh.
None of Aaron's questions are ever quick, but Aaron, go right ahead. Brody Lee is miscast. He should be a badass heel kicking people's asses. Instead, he's a weird cult leader that just constantly, his gimmick is to make fun of Vince McMahon. They are missing the ball. They're doing the same thing to him that WWE did to him. I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt because he's only been there for like 3 weeks. But this is not working for me. I love this guy. I have loved him since the Indies, and I want somebody to use him properly. I don't like this. I don't know what you think. Maybe you dig it. I don't know. But and some people probably do. It's not. Oh yeah, Dave DeRozier. Thank you, Lacey Evans. That's her name. Thank you. Left me completely.
Well, look, and I understand where you're getting at with Brody Lee because I'm a big fan of him prior to WWE as well, and I'm very impressed with everything he can do. I want them to get away from the whole Vince McMahon thing. Personally, and I'm thinking that a lot of it might be from the simple fact that once the crowds get back in there, maybe things will change and get different. But for right now, it is what it is with Brody Lee. There's something about the fact that, and they try it too hard. But I like the fact of the psychotic cult leader. It's like, no, you're not going to eat before me. You're not going to,
So here's Aaron's question.
Oh God,
are you ready? If Brutus Beefcake and Booty Man split into separate beings and teamed together, would they become Booty Beef?
Hashtag Booty Beef.
Hashtag Booty Beef. If you, you can hear this and many other witticisms on the We Can't Wrestle podcast, available on iTunes, Spotify, anywhere you can get your favorite wrestling podcasts.
I think we have a new tongue twister.
Hashtag Booty Beef.
Booty Beef Boof. That fucking 3 times fast.
Thank you for contributing, Max. I appreciate that. So, I think we have. Aaron says good night. We have come to the fact that I think you are a little more on board with what they're doing with Brody Lee than I am.
I want to see where they go with it. I want to see what they do with it. Like I said, if it continues to be just this thing where they're constantly poking fun at Vince McMahon, then yeah, it's going to get boring and it's going to get old real quick. But like I said, I like the fact of him being like this psychotic cult leader that's not, that's not all creepy and spooky like Bray Wyatt. He's more sophisticated. He's more, down to earth, more, elitist. That's what I'm getting out of it. Like I said, if they continue to push the envelope and be like, "Oh, it's just big fun of Vince McMahon," then yeah, I'm gonna hate it. But if they make him like this cult leader elitist, that's not creepy and spooky, that's more I don't know.
They need to make they need to have the feds break into his compound or something. And while the feds are at it, they should mow down all of the Dork Order with machine guns, so we never have to watch them on the TV again.
But,
I mean, not for real, folks. It's wrestling. It's all fake.
I get the feeling like with him that it's kind of like more like the Illuminati style cult leader. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt.
Two more things on this show, then we'll roll to SmackDown, and Right. It's still real to me too, Dave. He says still real to me because I said it's wrestling. It's all fake. It's still real to me too, Dave. But modern, this new, since we went movie wrestling with no audience instead of wrestling, tough stuff. Okay. So the two other things I have to say about AEW this week. Spears and Cody was a good match, but it was too long. And Jericho and Shivani were really good together on commentary. This is the most fun I've had Tony Schiavone having in years. You could tell he was having a blast doing commentary with Chris Jericho.
If we could get Tony Schiavone that we get on the podcast,
yeah,
on commentary, oh my god, oh my god, it'd be great.
But I thought him and Chris were really good together.
It was good. Like I said, again, it was perfect. You had the play-by-play, and you had the heel.
Jericho was almost, and I'm not saying he's anywhere near as great as this guy, but he almost played the Bobby Heenan because he would make jokes, he would make fun of the faces, he would poke fun, but he would also put them over for how good they were.
And if anybody's can do it, it's Jericho.
Mm-hmm. So those are my last two observations. SmackDown, which is still fresh in my mind because I actually watched it this afternoon in preparation for the show. Braun Strowman and Shinsuke, we talked about their promo at the beginning of the show. Awkward. Mm-hmm. Awkward. Two guys I like. I mean, Nakamura, I love Nakamura. Strowman does not bother me. Strowman is what it is. He is what he is, and I think he does a good job. I mean, I don't expect this guy to be, Seth Rollins or Adam Cole. Yeah, and he does a good job with it. He does especially for a guy that's one of those guys that's only ever been in WWE. Those are usually the guys that come off as the most vanilla. And
here's the thing about it: he's only in his fourth, fifth year.
Mm-hmm.
He's still a rookie.
Yeah, he's still got a. Archie comments: first time caller, long time listener. If Aaron had a wrestling name, what would it be?
Beef Boom.
We should Beef Boof. Beef Boof.
Aaron the Beef Boof Maxon.
Aaron the Beef Boof Maxon. Oh, and Aaron the Beef Boof Maxon. Dave DeRosa said booty beef, so there's that vote for Aaron Booty Beef Maxon. Oh my goodness.
He's our BB.
We had Bliss and Cross against the Kabukis in the rematch. Elias, I got to a point in this segment where I started fast forwarding it because I couldn't take it anymore.
I was hoping that Elias was gone.
No, nothing's going to get rid of this guy because you can apparently kill AJ Styles, but you can't kill Elias because you can throw Elias off of a 20-foot high scaffold, and next week he's coming out no bruises.
I was like, oh, I want to see what Nate's reaction is to this because I know how much you detest Baron Corbin, but I can see you cheering Baron Corbin on.
Kill that motherfucker! Choke him with his own scarf. So we all know coming out of WrestleMania, one of my favorite stories in WWE is the ongoing saga between Otis, Dolph Ziggler, Sonya Deville, and Mandy Rose. However, Vince just can't resist throwing that old WWE put pictures up on the screen. Everything. Why do they have to ruin everything? Like, this was a stupid segment. The match was decent, but the segment before it was stupid.
Why have this match? I mean, the next logical match to have would be a tag match.
Yeah. Yeah, you would think.
If nothing else, Otis won.
Yeah, it should be over.
Yeah,
I think now we're going to switch to. And my question to you, and I was going to ask you guys this during the Mania chat, and I didn't think about it, but are they actually? Do you think they're actually going to pull the trigger on a lesbian angle with Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose? Are they going to pull the trigger on that? Because, I mean, if you look at the story, it feels like that's where this is going. And Sonya Deville is a lesbian in real life.
Right.
Are they going to pull the trigger on that? I mean, because, you know, it's a PG product.
Maybe old Otis is going to get himself threesome.
All right. So
if they do it, I hope that they do it tastefully.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they do it in any other way, it's going to get them a shitstorm of negative press.
Yeah. You can't do you can't do a person. You can have a gay heel now, but you can't have a person being the heel because they're gay.
Exactly.
That's you can't do Gold Dust anymore. Not the original Gold Dust. You couldn't do the original Gold Dust anymore. Dave says he's been having that storyline in his head already.
I bet yes.
6 stars. 6 stars for that comment, Dave. All right, we had the Forgotten Sons. They're okay. Bailey and Sasha and Tamina. This segment was long and awkward. Sheamus jobber match. Strowman and Nakamura, and this is what I really wanted to get to. I liked the ending segment of this show.
I did too.
I liked hearkening back to their history. I thought that Strowman's counters to Bray was well done. I liked this. I liked the ending segment of the show. I thought it was good.
It's the natural progression.
Mm-hmm.
It's what needs to happen. I don't know. It kind of kills me a little bit because of the simple fact that this is going to get caught up in everything going on.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to get to see a true.
You know my prediction for how it ends? So here's what's going to happen. The Fiend is going to defeat Braun Strowman and win the Universal title. And then at SummerSlam, the Fiend is going to lose the Universal title to Brock Lesnar.
You joke.
Because I know. I kind of joke. I mean, isn't this what we do now? We just put the titles on Brock Lesnar and Goldberg, and then when they want to go home, we take them off of them, and then they come back and they get to have the title again?
Look, I like Brock Lesnar as much as the next guy. He's been great. But you know what? If you haven't listened to the podcast yet, we go very in depth into Ronda Rousey and everybody else. You know, I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. I'm sick and tired of the UFC fighters in WWE.
And as far as go ahead.
We don't need Cain Velasquez. We don't need Brock Lesnar. We don't need Ronda Rousey. I mean, at what point? Because now it's like Shayna Baszler isn't special. Especially after the bullshit they pulled at WrestleMania, but it's like she's like, I'm a cage fighter. Okay, great. You have 4 others. Okay.
Here's my thing about Brock, and I know you've heard me say it on the show before, and I think you guys kind of agreed with me. The way I look at Brock Lesnar is, I don't have any hate for Brock Lesnar, but the way I look at Brock Lesnar is he is the modern day. It goes Andre the Giant, The Undertaker, Brock Lesnar. He is the modern day phenom, like an Andre or an Undertaker, meaning not only is he a great attraction, not only am I going to watch when he's on, because you can hate on him all you want. That dude's a fucking beast, okay? And yeah. I promise you when he's on your TV, you're watching your TV. But he doesn't need to have a title. He doesn't need to be the champion. He's a draw. He's an attraction, you know? So that's my thing on Brock. And like I said, I think the Strowman Bray Wyatt thing has potential as long as they don't fuck it up. So we've come to our hour. We always try to do a good job of sticking to our timeline. Yeah. And I want to remind everybody, if you're watching on the Facebook page, join our Facebook group. You can see Kyle with no sleeves. You can hear Aaron talk about booty beef as much as possible. Aaron even does watch parties on the page where he'll do a watch party randomly and watch an old WCW Saturday Night or Raw or something like that. That's a good time. Archie Mitchell's on there. He posts toy hunting with Archie Mitchell on there, which is now part of the Asylum as well. Archie's now an admin in the Asylum, by the way. And what else do I have to plug? I want to one last thing I want to do before we go is, again, if you're watching on the Facebook page, join the Facebook group, subscribe to the YouTube. I gave the winner away on our podcast, but he must not have listened yet because he hasn't reached out to me. I don't know if he's watching now. I'm going to give him another day, and then I'll announce it on the page. Leonard Mitchell won the drawing for our last contest. So, Leonard, you need to contact me so I can get your choice of prize. If not, I'll probably contact you tomorrow. I've given it enough time. I just wanted to see if someone was listening. But congratulations, Leonard Mitchell, for winning the prize and the drawing, and you'll get your choice of one of those three of those 6 collectibles. So, Kyle, I'll let you do your thing, and we'll leave these people for the evening.
All I'm going to say is that actually Aaron Maxson has a tag team partner. It's Archie Mitchell. His name is Beef Curtain. So you have Beef Curtain, and you have Beef Roof, and they are the slop hole of the abyss.
Slop hole of the abyss. Oh God, you need to remember that, because I will not. You know how I am. You know how my memory is. If I don't write shit down, other than wrestling facts, I forget everything. We are going to be recording the latest. I love that. I love it.
Yep.
We are going to be recording the latest edition of the We Can't Wrestle podcast Friday night. Probably, of course, will be up Saturday or Sunday. After I get it all edited and everything, we are going to have some fun with that one, trying a new thing out on the show. So stay tuned for that.
Real quick, I know we're going to a minute. Have you have all 10?
Nope.
Well, can we put it out there for our listeners?
Okay. So here's what we're going to do. I'll explain it to them. It's going to be what did I say it's called? Which is better?
Which is better?
As an example, I'm going to give the guys 10 examples, and I'm just going to use an example here that I won't use on the show. Which is better, DX or the NWO? And each of the hosts and myself will give our answer and our reasons, and it's that simple. So yeah, we should do that. We'll let the listeners give us a few of them.
Exactly. If you got a couple that you want to see us debate,
message one of the admins. Yep. Don't put it in the page. Message one of the admins so that admin can bring it up during the show, so it's organic and a surprise for the rest of us. So you can message myself, Kyle, Aaron, Archie, or Chris, and give us your, which is better. You could, like I said, as that example, DX or NWO. So it can be anything in wrestling.
Which is better, Beef Boof or Beef Curtain? I don't know. It's like Axe and Smash. I can't decide. Exactly.
Well, thank you all once again for joining us on We Can't Wrestle Live.
Be good,
with us, Kyle. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Be nice.
Stay safe. Out there. Stay safe and stay home, everybody, like you're supposed to. Damn it, till this is all over with. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Kyle. I see you later, my friend.
Thank you guys.
Bye, everybody. We'll see.